This is the story of the hero's journey, which is a story about you. Let's begin. It's fitting, isn't it, that it is you who has committed yourself to this journey. The student has become the teacher, has become the student. Life is one long journey for those who are fortunate, and within that long journey there are many smaller journeys, each with its own beginning and end. It takes courage to slip the rope from its mooring and from what is familiar to allow the winds of destiny to fill our sails and push us toward some unknown future and unknown horizon. When out in the midst of a great ocean, one can easily lose direction. There are no paths or roadways on the vast ocean. There are no road signs. There is only water surrounding us everywhere we look, with no horizon in sight. There is also the uneasiness we feel regarding not knowing what lies below the dark depths that lie in wait for us. Water represents the unconsciousness, and as we float along the surface, we ride upon the border that separates what we know and what lies hidden and dormant within us. So what voice whispered into our ears that we should leave the safe confines of land, our comfort zone, to seek out lands we have never seen before? Perhaps it is our hunger for knowledge, for growth, to learn about distant lands that we do not yet fully understand, to learn about ourselves and one another, and that of experience all there is in life to experience, and as leaders to learn how to share the experience with others. Of course, we hope to find success. We travel on a common journey, as Joseph Campbell indicated in his book, The Hero with 1,000 Faces. In art, literature, and dance, they speak a common truth about the human condition. Campbell was a professor at St. Lawrence College. He was famously known for his work with myth and for saying, "Follow your bliss." That's great advice. In his book, The Hero's Journey, Joseph Campbell illustrated for us an archetype or a similar experience that we all go through as we travel on various journeys throughout our lifetime. This archetype or this illustration follows a common theme. There's a call for adventure. At some point we receive supernatural aid. We meet up with threshold guardians we have to surpass. And then we move into the unknown. There we hopefully find a mentor or helper that helps us along this treacherous pathway. We go through an abyss where we experience some sort of death and rebirth. We're transformed, we find atonement, and then we return back to the known world with some sort of gift that is provided to us. All heroes follow a similar path. The hero isn't always easily recognized. Parsifal and the Search for the Holy Grail is a story about one of the Knights of the Round Table. Parsifal means fool, but a different way to phrase that could be innocence or childness. To enter heaven, you must become like a child, that is, to return to the Garden of Eden or childhood innocence, we must allow for our animal aspects to override our adult consciousness, which is the cause of suffering. We can often count on our basic instincts. Perhaps you've read the book Don Quixote or know something about Don Quixote. Don Quixote is a form of Parsifal. He struggled with what is real, but in metaphor there was meaning to the story. Is this just another way of telling of Parsifal? Go back to the previous slide and note the similarities. He had to fight his dragons and to save his fair maidens. What illusions do we create into dragons in our own lives, similar to Don Quixote? Along the hero's journey is one of the first phases, or the call to adventure. All men take the hero's journey. The Hobbit, Neo, The Matrix, and Luke Skywalker from Star Wars are modern examples of unlikely or unwilling heroes. They illustrate examples of how to successfully navigate the challenges of the unknown. These are heroes that unwillingly were called to adventure, as is the case with most of the heroes in our modern movies and in modern literature. Here are some other examples of what I'm talking about. The same is true with Men in Black and Star Wars. They were also unwilling participants to supernatural worlds. Whether or not you are purposely looking for adventure, it will find you. Indiana Jones went looking for treasure and the hero's journey. The Lion King grew into that and recognized that it was calling to him. Perhaps you'll recognize the hero's journey as it relates to Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. The hero's journey is nowhere better represented than in the Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, where the average person rises to great heights with the assistance of a wizard. We ourselves may also be shocked to learn of the qualities we possess that we perhaps were unaware of. The next phase of the journey is the challenge. How big does your enemy seem? Bigger than life? Is it our inevitable fall to our biological nature? Is it our career, or is it a difficult conversation? What does your subconscious reveal to you in dreams that are pushed up to your consciousness while you sleep? Where lies your fears? It seems as though our enemies know all our weaknesses. Perhaps our greatest enemies are within. Have a little fire, Scarecrow? There may be some glowing energy within us that suggests we cannot be successful. Perhaps that is the core of depression or the mother complex that suggests we'd be better off just climbing back in bed and crawling under our blankets. Heroes must find a way past Mount Doom and the Eye of Sauron from Lord of the Rings. Well, who's your daddy? Is it your past? Is it your biology that is determined by your genes? Is it societal pressure that sculpted and formed you? There may be no free will, but only free choice. Do you choose to like chocolate ice cream over vanilla, or has that choice been already made for you? Your own recognition of this will help you succeed in your quest. Is the world out to get us? Why does it contain evil like Voldemort from Harry Potter? I guess that's why we need heroes. Then comes atonement, success. It takes our positive traits to defeat our enemies. These were expressed in The Wizard of Oz as characters: courage, intelligent, heart, animal instinct, for example, Toto, and femininity, Dorothy. At that point, when we pull all these aspects of our personality and use them to defeat whatever it is we're up against, our enemies simply melt away. Well, skills, courage, determination, grit, all those things we may have guiding us and helping us along our hero's journey are fine. Yet in the end, we sometimes fail. It is something we must realize about ourselves and something we must learn to be forgiven of. After all, we're all human. We are both saint and sinner. Our enemy seems to be within. In the end, you must choose wisely. Do not let the shiny objects distract you. Wisdom often comes in the form of humility, as in the hero choosing the right chalice, which I don't want to ruin it if you haven't seen this movie, so I won't say, but he makes the right choice. In the end, we need success. We need assistance of others to be successful. There is good in everyone. There are others we can depend on, and we hope they depend upon us. So, which direction to take on our hero's journey? It is much more difficult to look forward into the future than to look back over the past. We look to Virgil, Gandalf, Yoda, Morpheus, and Sirius Black. All these characters we've become familiar with in modern cinema to help guide us through our transformation and revelation. Isn't that what the journey's about? Is success predictable? I think so, especially if we bring the appropriate tools along with us on our journey. What are those tools? Skills, persistence, intelligence, courage, and perhaps a bit of luck. Remember the characters from The Wizard of Oz. Those are the skills or the attributes of our personality that help us succeed. And the final trip of our hero's journey is return. We return from battle, and the best we can do is leave it all on the floor. The king does not always win, but he learns to accept defeat. The hard part is never to give up, at which point, if we are fortunate, we will return glorious, and we will bring back with us the wisdom and gifts we earned along our journey. I hope you enjoyed this, and I appreciate you listening.